All right. So, good evening once again, everybody. Welcome to another day of the training. Today is day 4, and so far, so good. We have been sticking to the time, and we have been able to achieve a lot from day 1 to day 4. There's a lot that we have to learn, and based on the feedback that we got, we discovered that we needed to slow down because there are a lot of things that people want to practice, which they've not been able to practice. I feel maybe we're going too fast for people to catch up. So today we want to look at some basic things that we should know. Okay. What we're going to start with is we're going to start from the beginning. We've looked at the interface already, so there is no need to do that any longer. So the exercise we want to work on today, we want to work on linking the worksheet. So this is what we're going to work on today. You can see my screen. Kindly indicate you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Okay, so you
Yes,
unmute.
sir.
Thank you. So today we are going to take everything we did yesterday. We are taking it very slowly. Today we are looking at linking of the worksheet. Now, before you start applying formulas, before you start applying all those functions and all that, we first of all need to understand in case there is a data in some sheets, and then you need those data from that sheet, you need it in another sheet. How do you link your worksheet? Yesterday, we learned it. We said that whenever you are trying to link a worksheet, okay, wherever you want the formula to be, always note that oh, okay, someone is okay, I can hear you. Go on. If you have anything to say, you can unmute your mic and let me, or just raise your hand first, then I will allow you. Mr. Lekon, yes.
Okay, sorry, I sent a message about not seeing the screen, but just now it came up. So thank you.
Okay, sir. You're welcome. So your hand is still up, but if you can, please, I can't see the screen. Okay, but yeah, I believe you can see the screen. If you can't see the screen, you can still raise your hand. Can you see the screen? You can unmute and let me hear if you can see the screen.
Yes, I can see it now. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Yeah. Okay, so today we are taking it gradually. Today we want to work on linking of the worksheet. There are times that you could have information on different worksheets. Like this is table 1, for instance. This is another worksheet. This is another worksheet, another worksheet, another worksheet, another worksheet. So at times you could want to work on different datas contained in different worksheets. Okay. So how do you link those data? It becomes a challenge if you don't know how to link the content of a worksheet. So you might discover that you might need to go and copy the content of that worksheet to the new worksheet you are working for before you are able to now make use of those content. But however, if you understand how to link a worksheet, you can link a worksheet and be treating that your worksheet as though you are working on all the sheets that you have in your Excel book. Okay. So now let's look at it. We are trying to link this worksheet. Now, if you check the big box here now, this big box is elaborate enough for you to see what is happening in the formula bar. Now, when you say equal, now this is the sum function. You just say anywhere in any of the boxes, you can just type equal to. You always start with equals to. So just type equals to, then you now type your sum. Okay, you open your bracket Now what I want to do is I want to add content from table 1 or table 2 or table 4. So here now there's a table. There's this sheet they call table 2. So let's look for it. Where is table 2? Let's look for it. So this is table 2. Okay. We are looking at table 2. Also, we're also looking at table 4. And what do you want to do there? Now, when you have identified the table, to start with, always begin with the open quote. I told us there's this open quote that you must start with whenever you are trying to show that something is a text. Okay. So because table is the name of a worksheet, so we know that that is a name, is a text. So we are going to start by opening our quote. So I put an open quote, okay? Then I now type table 2. Make sure that whatever you are using, like this is table, and if you check the name of this worksheet, there's a space between table and 2. If you do this thing that I did here, which if you just say table 2, Excel can give you an error because this table that they have here, there's a space between table and 2. So I believe that we should also maintain that space. So when I type on table, I click on space, then I put the 2. Now the next thing is I want to put the column. So whenever you have a column, let me explain what column is. Column is saying you are not only treating the information from table 2, you're also treating it up to table 4. So column is trying to like to say and. So when in Excel language, like column is like when you say and you want to sum something in B5 and H5. Okay, so that column you're seeing is like saying and you want to sum the content of B5, which is cell B5. You also want to sum the content of H5. So it's going to do that across the 2. So now what we are doing is that we are selecting table 2. Okay, then now also check. When you check that you are dealing with names of a sheet, check where your open quote start from and look at where your open quote ends. It means those places, they are just names of files. Okay, so I open my column and I say table 2 now, and I also put the column and I say table, then I leave a space, I type 4. Then once I'm done with the 2 names, what do? I close the quotes. Okay, I close the quotes, just one quote, not the double quote, just one quote. I close the quote. Then what do I now do? And I put a factorial. This factorial is very important. The factorial is telling you this is a cell. It's like telling you that table 2 to table 4, go to cell B5 and cell H5. And what do you want to do? You want to sum it. Okay, so understand how to link a worksheet. Once you're done with the name of that worksheet, you are starting it with an open quote, okay, to show that this table 2 is not a number. You want it to appear as a text, okay? The 4 also is not a number. You want it to appear as a text. So table 2 is the name of a file. Table 4 is also the name of a file. So once we finish typing those names, we put the closing, we close the quote. Once we have closed the quote, we now put the factorial sign.
Hello, excuse me, please. I cannot see your screen. No.
It's your network. It's not from everybody. It's your network. So kindly log out and log in again. It's your network. So if you can see my screen, kindly give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Okay, so you can see others can see my screen, but you are the only one that can't see my screen. They are giving me a thumbs up. So if you can't see the screen, please log out and log in again. Thank you. So today, thank God for the feedback. The feedback now is making me to know what we need to do. So we need to take things slow. We should not assume that everybody is a prof on the call. So now what we are working on today, we are working on linking of worksheets. Okay, so I'm in this linking of worksheet file. I want to link some tables, and those tables are the names of other worksheets. So here in the big box, you can see that I want to sum the content of table 2 and table 4, and I want to sum cell B5. When you see this, your column, it's like saying cell B5 to H5. So it's going to sum everything, both B5, C5, D5, E5, everything between that B to H is going to sum everything together. So whenever you have a column like this, it's saying that sum everything from B5 to H5. Okay, so that is that. So we are done with putting the names of the tables, right? The next thing we want to do is that we put our exclamation mark. When we put our exclamation mark, we now say, okay, what cell do we want to sum? We want to sum B5, right? Then the column is saying we want to sum B5 to H5. Now, once you're done with that, close the bracket and then press your enter. So you can see that when we did that, this is what we got. We are getting this figure. So in reality, what did we actually do in reality? So let's go to table 2 first. Let's go to table 2. Don't forget that we are summing B5 to H5. So look at the magic we did. We come to our table 2. When you come to table 2, we now go to B. This is our B5. So this is our B5. So we sum B5, okay, to H5. Look at it. This is what we did. We sum this total thing together like this. Okay, if you check here, you discover that we have, is it 25,000? If you check the sum at the bottom, you see that we have 25,550. So when you are putting column, you are saying sum from B5 to the next figure you put, to the next cell you put. So we are saying that Excel should sum, okay, when you have B5, when you have B5 column H5, you are telling Excel from B5 to H5. So it's going to sum everything in between B5 to H5. So it's going to sum both B5, C5, D5, everything 5, 5, 5, 5 until you get to H5. So now I believe with this, we understand. So apart from that, we are not only summing the content of table 2, we also sum the content of table 4. So let's now see, this is table 4 now that I'm clicking on. So I come to B5. Okay, so this is my B, and then this is my 5. Okay, so we are summing from B5, we are summing it to H5. So we sum like this across the 2 tables. Okay, so any question? Any question? I need your feedback so that I'm sure you understand it. If you have any question, simply raise your hand and then you can, I can let you ask the question. So you can see here now what we have here. So let's quickly go and do something. Let's try and audit this thing that we are doing. We are solving B5 to H5. So what is B5 to H5? So let's come and do something. We say equal to some. We open our brackets. We now say B5, okay, column H5. We close our bracket. So you can see that you click on enter. So this is giving us 25,550. So now the reason why I just put this here without me putting the name of the cell is because I'm inside table 2, and I want to sum the content of table 2. So since I'm inside table 2 and I want to sum the content of table 2, I don't need to start putting the name of the table because I'm inside this table. Now we've gotten that in table 2, the thing we ask you to sum is give us this answer. Let's also go to table 4. Okay, table 4 also, we are telling Excel to sum. We start equal to sum. We open our bracket, then we say B5 to the column is saying sum from B5 to H5. We now close our bracket, we press enter. So if you check here now, let me put a comma here. You check here, you discover that Excel is saying here is 10,500. And the other place is, let me see, the other place is, this is the other place is 25,550. If you add it together, are we going to get the answer that we got here? Let's go back to that, our sheet. This our sheet is saying we have 68,000 or 68,550. Okay. So, any question? Yes.
Okay, so I discovered that the table 2 and table 4, what we got is not the same as this particular one. Is it that we have to add table 3 2 to it? That's my question.
Okay. So, is it like we have to add the the last thing you said? I didn't get it anyway.
Okay, what I said is that, the what's it called? The the column states
Mhm.
that from this place to this place. But now we are doing table 2, column table 4. Does that mean that we are doing table 2, table 3, table 4? Or is only table 2 and table 4 we are working on in this case? Because the total amount that we got in table 2 plus table 4 is not the same as what we calculated here on this screen right now.
Okay. So, thank you for that. I like this question. The reason is because I already told us that whenever you have a column at the middle, the column is telling you from table 2 to table 4. It means you are not only adding table 2, you're also adding table 3 and then table 4. So now from table 1, table 2 and table 4, this is what table 2 gave us. This is what table 4 gave us. So, sorry, this is what table 4 gave us. Now, to now get this one, let's now come to table 3 also, because we now come here, we now say equal to sum, right? We open our brackets, we now say B5 to H5. We close our bracket, we press our enter. So yeah, this is it. So this is what is making it different. So we have three, so yeah, we have 32,200. So we have 32,200. In the next place, we have 10,500. In the first place, we have 25,000 550. So you can see how we're able to get the total figure that we have here. So let's do something. Let's say equal to this. So let's now sum everything. We say equal to this, right? Plus, we now come to the next table 3. We pick this. We now say plus, we come to table 4. Then we also pick this. I will press enter and look at it. Voila. You can see what is going on. So I just intentionally was waiting for our answer to our question. So so you can see how we're able to arrive at this same answer that we have over here. Are we together? So anytime we have this column at the middle, So it means that at times you can be using a formula. You can see the way this column now can just disgrace somebody. Somebody that want to add only table 2 and table 4. If you go and do this, you are not only table 2, you're also adding table 3 at the middle unknowingly. So you must know what you are doing, right? So we are adding table 2. It is only table 2 and table 4 you want to add. We are going to do that now, okay? Then we already understand that when there's a column at the middle, you are adding both table 2 and table 3. But if you don't want to do that, there is another way you can go about it, which we are going to check. Are we together?
Together,
Any question, please? Can I move further so that I can show us the difference between when you're adding from table 2 to table 4, or when you're only adding table 2 and table 4? So let's do it like that. So let me show you. So we come over here. We have done the first one. We understand that here we did what is in this bracket. The next thing we want to do, we want to now come in. We now say, okay, let us not add from table 2 to table 4. Let's only add table 2 and table 4. So we now say equal to sum. We open our bracket. Remember, we want to add table 2. What are we to press first? We have to press the quote, single quote, not double. Single quotation mark. You press it. Once you press it, now type your table, leave a bracket, then leave a space, because you also check the table you are adding. The table here, there's a space between it. So you now say table 2. Now, because table 2, now we don't want to add from table 2 to table 4. When we finish typing table 2, we close the quote. Okay? When we close the quote, then we now put our factorial. What do we want to add inside table 2? We want to add B5 to H5. That's what we want to add inside table 2. Now, the next thing we want to do again is that we are done adding this one. What else do we now need to do? The next thing we need to do is that we now put a comma. Put a comma, okay? Once you put a comma, you now need to now repeat the process again. I want to add table 4 now. So I'll now open the code again. Remember, table 4 is a name of a worksheet. You open the quote again. Once you open the quote, type table, leave a space, because that name has a space between table and 4. Leave a space and close the quote. Once you close the quote, then put your exclamation mark. Once you put your exclamation mark, what do you want to add inside table 4? We want to add B5 to H5. Then you close the bracket and press your, okay, this bracket now, hopefully it's a normal bracket. You close the bracket and press enter. We discover that this answer we got here is different from this answer we got here. And we can really understand why the answer is different. So in other words, we have seen that whenever you have a column at the middle, it's telling you that even things that are invisible, that are going to be in between table 2 and table 4, you will also add them also. So you are adding not only table 2, you are also adding table 3, you're adding table 4. But if you want to add only table 2 and table 4, it's a different ball game. Look at it. So now it means that we don't need to rush. We don't need to rush. Let's take our time to understand this thing. So let me press F2 on the keyboard so we can see the formula. Then another thing I want to do for us, I want to make this thing big. Oh, sorry. I have to make this thing big so that you can see my formula well. Then I will now go on this place now and press F2. So you can see here now. How do we do it? If you are adding only table 2 and also only table 4, just type your equal to, you type your sum, open your bracket. Now, because table 2 is a name It's a text. Anytime you have a text, always begin quote it, like put quotation mark around it so that Excel will know that, okay, this is a text, so this is not a number, so that it will not give you error sign. So what do? We now open our bracket. We start it with open quotes, okay? We now type table 2. We close it. Also, when you are trying to link a worksheet, check exactly the way the worksheet was typed or saved so that you don't make a mistake. Don't think you are saving table 2, whereas you are saving something else, because you could have a worksheet as table without space, table 2. You can also have another worksheet that has table with space and 2. So it's different. There are two different things. So I'm telling you that so that you can know it. Now you can also see that today I am very slow in my speaking because I also played the video. As I'm asking you people, go and play it, go and subscribe to the channel. I also went to play and I discovered that I was fast at a point. Okay, so I now decided that in this lecture, I want to take it as slow as possible. Are we gaining value in this training?
Yes, sir, a lot.
All right. So now you already understand there is this temptation to want to be fast, to want to speak fast. Okay. I'm not a slow speaker. Yes. So someone's hand is up. Okay. Unmute and let me hear you what you want to say.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Okay, thank you very much for the training. So I want to ask if all these sheets, all these table namers, sheet namers table, if they are named in Excel, or you can just have normal sheets and begin to quote them in your calculation. I don't know if you get my question.
Okay. Thank you for that. Let's now check. Now, if you check this place, somebody else want to also ask another question. Okay, go on, ask the question before we now continue. Okay, I believe the person doesn't want to ask a question. So look at this place now. If we check this place here, we see equal to sum. They open the brackets, they wrote sales, they put a column, and they put marketing. Then they now put the factorial, and they put B3. So it's telling you that this sales now is a name, it's a text. So because it's a text, you must put quotation mark before them, a single quote. So you could have different sheets that contain all these different, you can name any sheet, any name. If you this our table 2, we could decide to name it sales. We could decide to name it marketing. It depends on the content of that sheet. Okay. So just understand how to link worksheet. That is what we are learning here. How to link worksheet. Then a further thing we are also learning is that you already, I'm sure everybody knows how to link a worksheet. You know how to make the name of a sheet to appear as a text. So this is a text. Table 2. You quote it. One quotation at the beginning and that quotation at the end. Then after you've quoted it, whenever you are naming a worksheet, you are linking a worksheet, also make sure that you put a factorial and tell Excel exactly where you want to sum. You want to sum from B5 to H5. So this column at the middle is telling Excel from B5 to H5. That means B5, C5, D5, E5, F5, like that, until we get to H5. So this formula we have here is different from this other formula in this bracket. And I'm sure we can all see that for ourselves. So look at it. This is saying table 2 to table 4. So this column now is called to, so we are saying Excel, sum table 2 to table 4. Then what do I want you to sum in those tables? I want you to sum cell 5 to cell H5. So cell B5 to cell H5. So I believe that that is taken. So let's now check other things from here. So let's check other things from this our table. All these are exercise. To carry out addition of data in multiple sheets. Okay. So yeah. So to carry out multiple sheets, you have seen multiple sheet now from B2 to B4. So this is another thing. Let's look at this one. This exercise now. This one is telling us that we should sum table 1 to table 4. And what are we summing? We are summing cell B3. So let's go to those table 1. This is table 1, Abi. What do you want to sum? Cell B3. So this is our cell B3. Let's color it another color. This is what we want to sum. We want to sum cell B3. So this is cell B3 in table 1. We go to cell B3 in table 2 also. So cell B3 in table 2. We also repeat the whole process. Let me see if I can press my F4. Maybe it will repeat the last action I performed. So let me press F4. Let me see. No, it did not. So remember, I told us that whenever we carry out any action in a sheet, if you want to repeat that action, just press F4 and automatically the action will be repeated. So in case I want to paint a place, if I paint the place and I want Excel to paint other places also, I can just press my F. Okay, it's not even F4 I press F3. So let me press F4 let me see. F4, it did not work. So what you do is go to the home and color this thing. So I'm trying to add B3 across all these tables, okay? Also come here, I click on B3 and I also paint it like this. So across all the tables, so it's going to add B3, okay, from table 1 to table 5. So that's what Excel is going to do. So we come to the last table and we now come here, we now say, okay, also add from, like, so this is it. We come here, we add it together. So that is what we want to add. So in that single formula, if you understand how to link sheets, you can achieve a lot in Excel. So look at, in that just one single formula, we are adding all the content of cell B3 across 5 workbook or 5 sheets. So what do? We come here, we now click on equal to, we now say some. Okay, so to know that you've known it, oh yeah, somebody should unmute and guide me what to do. Somebody unmute and guide me what to do. We are working on the first exercise. Everything to do is already here. It's just for me to know that you understand it. So I started the process. I say equal to
brackets open.
Okay, bracket open, yes.
Quotes. One quote. The beginning quote.
Okay.
No, not that one.
Okay.
Yes. Table
Okay.
1.
Table 1.
Column.
Okay.
Table 4.
Table 4.
Then close column. Close quotes.
Okay, close the quote.
Then factorial.
Okay, the factorial here.
B3.
Then B3. So thank you. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to add across different table 1 to table 4. Just click your enter, and then Excel has gone to do the magic. It added across all these worksheets. So now you already know that whenever you have a column, you know what Excel is doing. Okay, whenever you have a column, you know what Excel is doing. Whenever you are trying to also we link a worksheet, you also know how to go about it. I want to believe that with this exercise that we've done, you are good to go. Let's just look at other exercises. I think they put them here. So here, look at it. They say equal to sum. We say table 1, right? We close the quote. Now, anytime you have a name of a worksheet and you see that they close the quote, know that you are not saying from table 1 to any other table. you therefore want to deal with the content of table 1 first. When you deal with the content of table 1 first, then you can now add any other table to it. So look at what we are doing here. We say, we open our quote, we say table 1, we close the quotes, we now put the factorial. What do we want to sum? We want to sum B6 to B10. We want to sum everything. We now put a comma. Once you are done with that, always put a comma. Then we want to add another sheet now. We now do the beginning quote again. We type our table 3. We close the quotes. We put the factorial sign. And then what do we want to add? We want to add A1 to it. So it is that from A1, sorry, from table 1, we want to add the content of cell B6 to B10. Then we also want to add the content of cell A1 also in table 3 to it. So I want to believe that everybody understands all this. So I'm going to give us assignments based on this thing, okay? Sure that we all understand. So what you are going to do for me, I will tell you, open a new worksheet. To open a new worksheet, what do you press? Who can tell me?
Control N.
Control N. But before you press Control N, so this is it. Some people, they are not inside Excel. They will just press Control N on their keyboard, expecting a table to open. You must open an Excel sheet before you press Control N. When you press Control N, that is when another sheet will now open. But if you are not opening any sheet at all, Excel cannot perform magic for you. You have to open Excel, any Excel template, open any Excel template, press Control N, then a blank template will now open for you that you can work with. So what you are going to do for me, I will send you all these things, only this link worksheet. I will send it to you. All this exercise, you are going to demonstrate them. You are going to create a table that have this. You are going to create a table that table 1. You are going to take table 4. You are going to do this thing. I want to see what the answer is. You are going to create another table that contains sales, that contains marketing. You are going to add B3. You are going to do all these things that you have over here. So I'm only sending this link worksheet. You are to get all the other data that you want to use for it, and you must get your answer correctly. You must get your answer correctly. So that means that if you are in this class, if you like, you can jot, because there is going to be exercise for us. So look at this one now. We've done this one, so there's no issue with this one. And I think that is that for this place. So you're going to create, so this is what you're going to do. Once I send you this sheet, okay, I'll send you this sheet exactly like this. You have all these things. I will delete all the formulas that are inside here. You're going to create all these formulas for me, and then you are going to create the other accompanying template that you want this thing to take whatever form. You're going to also populate those templates. Like you see this one now, this table, we put things here, right? In table 2, we put it. So just do whatever you want to do and make sure you show that you've mastered it. So I believe that we are done with linking of worksheets. I believe that there's nobody that is confused. I believe that we all understand. So we are going to move further from here to another exercise. So let's click. We are looking at all those tables. Now the next thing we are going to look at is what we call the if function. Majority of us, we understand the if function already, but I just don't want to believe that you understand it. I want to show you what the if function can be used for, okay? Now, the if function, I already explained it to us. The if function is made up of 3 statements. Sorry, 3 things. The first one is a statement. You make a statement, right? The second one is you set an answer for Excel that Excel should pick when the statement you made is correct. Then the next one, you put a comma. The next one, you also now set another answer for Excel when the statement you said for Excel is correct, is wrong, sorry. So now let me also tell you one thing. I also remember I told you that when you are linking worksheets, because the worksheet, the name of that worksheet is a text, I said use one quotation mark. But when you are not linking worksheets, and you also want to show text, now in this time around, you want to use a text in your formula. The text you are going to show now, you are not using only one quote, you are using two quotes. So you can see this space now. We have reorder. We are telling Excel that this reorder is a text, but it's different from when we are linking reorder worksheet. If we are linking a worksheet, we are going to use only one quotation mark, sorry. We're going to use only one quotation mark at the beginning, one quotation mark at the end. But if you are trying to use just a normal text in a formula, you have to use two quotes at the beginning and two quotes at the end. Do we understand?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, some people understand why some people said no, it's fine. So this is what I said. If you are linking a worksheet, right? You already understand how to link a worksheet. For a worksheet, because we want to tell Excel that this worksheet, this thing is like, because some worksheet can have numbers, right? So a mixture of both alphabet and numbers. We don't want Excel to start asking, what kind of formula are you imputing? What is table? What is one? Okay, we want to tell Excel that, don't be confused. This table one is a text, is not a number that you are going to use in a formula, okay? So whenever you are trying to use a text as the name of a workbook, use only one quotation mark. So let me go to our sheet because of people that want to ask questions. So let me come here. So I said, number one, we are working on linking of workbook, linking of workbook. Okay, so now number one, when trying to use the name of a work of a sheet, sorry, of an Excel sheet in a formula or in a function or in a formula, okay, let's say a formula or a function, just know. So the difference between a formula and a function is that functions are inbuilt formulas. So now they are the same, they are all formulas, okay? So whenever you are trying to use the name of an Excel sheet in a formula, tell Excel that the name is a text and not a number to be used for calculation. Okay, so another thing I want to tell us is this. You can see I'm typing, right? As I'm typing, my Excel knows that this space I am is not going to be enough for me to be able to see what I'm typing, except if I decide that I want to now shift my glance like this. So let's look at what I'm going to do. If I press enter now, or I can press Control Enter, look at what happens. Excel knows that the way my screen is displayed, this thing I typed, I won't be able to see everything. So Excel now did what we call wrap text. Excel was now wrapping the text so that I can see the remaining part of that text clearly. But once you press enter, Excel will no longer wrap the text for you. You have to be able to know how to now go and wrap that text for you by yourself so that you can see all these things by yourself at a glance. So what do I want to do? I know that I don't want to start scrolling about like this, okay? So what do I need to do? I know that I need to wrap my text. So what I will do is that I will select where I want my text to show. My text cannot only show in one space. For my text to be able to show, for me to see it well, I have to drag this thing to the bottom one time. Okay, so I want all my text to be showing like this. So this text, instead of it to continue like this, I want it to now come and continue from under here. So what will I do? I will come to Home tab. Once I come to Home tab, the first thing I will do, don't click on wrap text first. If you click on wrap text, there'll be problem. First of all, go and click on merge and center. First of all, click on merge and center. Click on it first. Once you click on it first, you see what is happening. So this is not what we want to achieve. And that is that you can see that these text, they are like on the floor. We want it to go up so that the next one will come under it. So what do? We come to this place. This is what we call the, is it the alignment or whatever it is? I don't know. So you see this place. You can see here, this is down, this is going up, the other one is going up. So click on the what is up here. Click on it. Once you click on it, it has gone up. But at the same time, so now you can also now do something. Let's wrap it now. Let's see. You can wrap it now. Once you have clicked it and it has gone up, wrap it so that the text will now come under. Then the next thing you want to do is that this thing is not displaying the way I want it to display. I want name to start from the beginning. So I'll now come here. I'll now click on this alignment, left align. I'll click on left align and look at it. Now, all my texts are showing. So if I click away, you can see that here, you can just see the text is wrapped around. So how did we do that? First, to wrap a text, go to home. Okay, so let me just put it here. To wrap, O is W, to wrap a text, to wrap a text. So number one, go to Home tab, merge, click on hand. So click on merge and center. Is it merge and center or something like that? So just merge it. Once you merge it, there, the next thing is that go to alignment. Go to alignment, comma, make sure the text are well arranged and display. So I know why I'm doing this. You can see that when I get to where my eyes can no longer see, Excel understand. Excel start wrapping the text on its own. I don't need to tell Excel. Excel on its own is wrapping the text. So this is an indication for whenever you are typing and then Excel is wrapping the text, but it's an indication that you need to wrap your text. So I say texts are well arranged and displaying from the top, right? So they're displaying from the top. Then the next you want to do is, after you've done that, you can now wrap the text. Now click on wrap text. So if I press enter now, Excel has already wrapped this text for me to show that I need to wrap this text. So click on enter. You see that Excel will not wrap the text any longer. Excel expects me to go and do the wrap text. So what will I do? I will click on where I want the words to display. I want my words to display from here to here because this is where my eyes can see, right? Then I believe that my words should be able to show in just 2 rows. So I go to my Home tab. Once I go to my Home tab, right, I come to merge and center. That's the first thing I will do. I click on merge and center. As I click on merge and center, this text, they are all sleeping on the floor. I want them to go up, okay? I now come to this alignment section. I click on the highest alignment. You can see top align. I click on top align. Once I click on top align, all my texts have gone up so that the other text can now display under it. The next thing, I can go and wrap the text. Wrap the text. Then I don't want it to be like this. I want it to show well aligned to the left. I click on left align, okay? And everything has displayed the way I want it to display. So I just felt that I should tell you this because somebody may not know what needs to be done and the person needs to be told. Okay, so that's how we did this. Then don't forget that you can also move all these things. Let's assume this thing that I have here, I don't want it in this place. You can click on the on this place and then just come to the bottom or anywhere, any corner of the sheet. Then right click and drag to anywhere you want it to be. So let's assume I want it to be here. I can drag. So, but because now remember, whenever your text, whenever you use the merge and center, you need to be careful. Excel is telling us now that we can't do that to a merge cell. The reason is because other places you want to drag it to, those places, the cells are not merged. But this thing you are trying to take to that place is a merge cell. So Excel will tell you it will not work. So you tell it okay, and you go back to default. So in case you try to do that and it doesn't work for you, don't say I did not explain it to you. So also I want to put this thing in a border. Okay, I'll put it in a border quickly, then we can move on with our lecture. So the next thing we are going to, okay, so I've explained this one. I said that whenever you are trying to link your workbook, use only one quote. However, if you are not linking workbook, okay, so using text in the same sheet. Okay, now you're not linking anything to it. When you're using text in the same sheet, what do you do? Yeah, use double quotes at the beginning and at the end, okay, of the text. Okay, so I believe this should do. So let's go back to where we are. We are looking at the if function. There are a lot of people were complaining that they don't understand well yesterday. So let's come to our if. Okay, if you come to your if now, you already understand that the if statement, the if function is made up of three things. I want to be sure that this class is being recorded. Fine. So the if function is made up of three things. The first thing is the general statement you make. And they say that this is a logical function. So Excel is going to look at that function. If the statement you made makes sense to Excel, if the statement is logical, the statement is correct, Excel will now pick answers that you've set. It's you by yourself that will set the answer. So if you like, set a wrong answer for Excel. Whatever you set for Excel is what Excel will pick. But note, the first answer you are setting for Excel is what Excel will pick when the statement you made is correct or when the statement you make is true. However, the second answer you will set is this answer Excel will pick when the statement you make for Excel is wrong. So what are we using if for? Let's assume you are in a place where you have inventories, right? Probably you need to have flour, you need sugar, you need butter, and you need all those things for production of bread. Okay, so you have those things, you buy them in bulk. It's like your inventory. However, because you don't know when a customer will come and ask for those services, right? You need to always make sure that your reorder level, you set your reorder level so that your stock does not go down. Let's assume you need to, emergency just came and then you need to make bread. Then you go to your warehouse to go and get flour. They say there's no flour. You go to the market, they say people that are doing flour, they are on strike. You see, that can be avoided when you have an inventory reorder level. When you have an inventory officer, you see that most times they say, come and work as an inventory officer. Come and do this one. For an inventory officer, you must be able to get your reorder level. Your stock must not go below your reorder level. You must continue to monitor it. Apart from doing stock count, making sure that all the stocks are correct, they're accurate, you are doing your reconciliation of your stock and everything. And that is make sure that your stock does not go below the reorder level. So look at this thing now. We have something here. We already have our inventory that we purchased. Okay, we bought this inventory, okay, in the store. Then we also set that once this inventory is 30, we don't know what the inventory name is. Let's say it's flour. It's okay. Once the flour we have, once it goes below, or once it gets to 30, okay, maybe 30 bags, okay, or 30 container, make sure you go and reorder. Maybe on an average, we normally use 20 rubber for our production. Okay, so at any point in time, we want to make sure that at least we have 30, so that if any work should come, we don't want to go short of what we should use. Okay, so we set our reorder level. Okay, at all, we don't want to go below 30 for this inventory. Let's say this is flour, we don't want to go below 30 for sugar, we don't want to go below 30 for maybe like butter. Okay, let's assume want to do bread. So and this inventory, they can be very much. You can have plenty different. Maybe you are in a supermarket, you have a toothpaste, you have this, you have that, you have different items. Okay, it can be up to 1 million. So how will you know the one that is due? How do you know the one that is due? How do you know the one that needs to be reordered? How do you know the one that is okay? Okay, so you now come here, use an if function. Okay, now because it's an if function, you can use it to get out numbers. We've used that if function before, and you see that we are able to do our rent relief, we're able to do our new tax table. But you can also use it to give you text, and we already understand what text is. For text, you have to put double quotation mark in front of text. It's not the name of a sheet. If it's the name of the sheet, we use only one quotation mark. But because it's just a normal text, not the name of a sheet, we have to use double quotation mark. So what are we doing? We are saying, okay, if we want to make our statement, F3, what is our F3? You can go to your name box, type F3, press enter. So our F3 is 40, right? So they say if 40, right, is less than or equal to G3. What is G3? Let's come to our name box and press G3. Press your enter. G3 is 30. So we are saying if 40 is less than and equal to 30. So sorry, we say if, I mean, we are making the statement. We now say 40. So now don't say if, because it look as if you're asking a question. You're not asking a question. The if is just a function. Now, the statement starts from inside the bracket. You open your bracket and start your statement. We now say 40 is less than or equal to 30. Is it correct or wrong? Who can tell me?
It's wrong, sir.
It's wrong.
Thank you. Thank you. So because it's wrong, remember I told you, immediately you finish making your statement, put a comma. When you have put your comma, then, now, and it's not by force for you to put equal to. It's not by force, but you can also use it. Okay, even if you say 40 is less than 30, you have made your statement. You can also say 40 is less than or equal to 30. You've also made another statement. So that's what it. So you have to put your comma at the end of your statement. The next thing, set answer that you want Excel to pick. In this case, we want to show that we need to reorder. If it's less than, if the inventory we have in the store, if it's less than the reorder level, we want to know that we need to reorder. But if it's not less than, if it's wrong, they want to say, okay, it is okay. Don't need to bother yourself about it. So that is what we did here. So when you check inside this box here, you discover that is the formula that they did. Press F2 to see the formula. Okay, because there's something at the beginning, Excel cannot show this thing like this. So it has to like, there's something blocking Excel. So Excel now show the formula the other way. So if you check the formula bar, let's check the formula bar together, everybody. Then we check the formula bar here, you discover that they say equal to if. We now start our statement. We now say F3 is less than and equal to G3. We put our comma. We now say reorder or Okay. So another thing I want to show us is you have seen all these formulas. At times, you can have this kind of formula, you don't know how to interpret it. You don't know the interpretation. You don't know what they did in that formula. So this is what you need to do. You need to go and query or audit the formula. There's something they call audit. To audit a formula, to know what it is. So Excel will tell you what you have done, whether it is true or whether it is false, and what answer you have to pick. Okay, so let's go and query or let's go and audit this formula. So the first formula we have, let's use this one that is here down here. Okay, so this formula now. So what you do is that you go to your, let me see if I'm sure of where it is. Go to formula, go to your formula tab. Okay, go to formula tab. Fine. Once you go to your formula tab, then you now come to, hold on, evaluate formula. You see this thing they call evaluate formula. Okay, evaluate. So the first thing is go to any formula that you want to audit. Okay, maybe you don't understand what the formula is too long, you don't know what they want to achieve. Okay, now that is why I also advise us have some knowledge of formulas. Okay, what it is done, what it is doing, what is the function of that formula, what do they want it to achieve. Have that knowledge. Then what you now do is that when you come to that place you want to query the formula, then just go straight to the formula bar. Okay, go to the formula bar, go to the right of your screen, you will see what we call evaluate formula. Okay, then you can also see at the top they say show formula. You discover that I told us the other day that to show your formula you need to press control tilde. So they are also telling us that here to also show formula you can press control plus is it the hold on, let me see, display the formula in each cells instead of resulting value. So this thing I told you that you can do control tilde. I think they are telling that there's another function. So let's press control then quote. Let's press control quote for let's see whether it will work. Okay, so you can see it's showing us the formula in the bar. So there are different ways. Okay, so let's come here now. Let's click away from here. So you see that here, I told you that you can press F2. If you press F2, you see the formula in that bar. So if you also want to see the formula without pressing F2, hold your control key and you know that quotation mark. You know I told you that you should use one quote, control key and the quotation mark, and then it will also show you the formula in the bar. Okay, so let's go and add that to our Excel. So at least we are learning something. We've learned something now. Let's really come over here and put it. So to edit a cell, just like I told you, you want to edit a cell, just a cell, not all the worksheet. To do all the worksheet, to make all the worksheets show as a formula, the control tilde I showed you the other day is still very relevant. When you hold your control key, then that key that is below your escape key, close to number 1, that is your control tilde. That will show you all the formula in the bar, right? But if you only want to see only the formula in one cell, you can either press your F2, which we did yesterday. You press F2, let me see. We press F2, or we can double click in the bar, or we can go to our formula bar to get it. So another thing we're going to look at, so you go and check. So to show the formula in a cell, okay, so what do you press? Control plus this key. Oh, not the double one, plus this, hey, plus one quote. So this is what you press. Please mute your mic. Mute your mic. Okay. However, the other one that I say we should do is that if you want to, let me see if I can get the other one. Control plus, let's now try and see if we can get tilde. Hey, I got tilde, correct. So look at it now. So this is control plus tilde. Is different from control plus open quote. Okay, so this one is to show formula in a cell, but this other one is to show formula in a workbook. Okay, in a workbook, workbook or a sheet. Okay, this one will show you all the formulas in a sheet. Okay, why this one only show you a formula in a cell. Okay, so let's go back. I hope we are gaining. Hope I'm not too fast. Okay, so
we are getting, sir.
Okay, so we are still under the if function. Okay, no, I've explained the if function and I believe that we understand it. However, I also tell you that most of these tabs that are here, they are not for decoration. Okay, when you are doing formulas, okay, the best place to go to is your formula bar. Okay, so when you are doing formulas, the best way to go to is your formula bar. So just go to your formula bar. As you go to your formula bar, there are a lot of things you can do. You can trace dependent, you can trace precedence, you can remove arrow. So I will also teach you that, but let's not do that now. Yes, somebody, yeah, I'm listening. Unmute your mic and speak.
All right. Please, I want to ask you a question. You made
Okay.
reference to control tilde, that whenever
Yes.
we want to see all the formulas in the spreadsheet. Now,
Yes.
by the time you have sent the formula and you want to undo it, what do you do?
Still
That you
press
want the formula to return back to status quo. What do we do?
Control tilde again. Press Control tilde.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So the first Control tilde will make you see the formula. The next Control tilde will undo that. So it's as easy as that, easy as ABC. Okay, it's as easy as A, B, and C. Okay, so with that being said, let's continue. So now I told you that now when you have clicked on that formula bar, okay, when you click on the formula where the formula is and you don't understand what the formula is, just go to your formula tab. When you click on your formula tab, go straight to where you have evaluate formula. So does it have a shortcut? If you also click on your cursor on it, you will be learning other shortcut, but this one does not have a shortcut. So now click on evaluate formula. So this box will show you, okay? This box will display. So what you do is that evaluate, just click on evaluate. So the first thing you can see here in this box, the statement, you are making a statement. So the first thing is you are saying F4. So Excel is trying to tell you what F4 is. So it's underlining F4. You want to make a statement. So evaluate it. If you tell you F4 means 29. So if you come and check what we are looking at, which one are we evaluating? Okay, yeah. So I think we are evaluating this box. This how come? What is going on? I'm coming. Let me check what I am. Okay, so this is F4. Oh, we are looking at F4, right? So F4 means 29. So that is what you can see. It's telling you F4 is 29. Then it has underlined G4 now. Also click on evaluate. So it's telling you 29 is less than and equal to 30. Do you see it in this box? Can somebody see it in this box?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can see the statement. It's saying 29 is less than and equal to 30. So is it true? Is 29 less than and equal to 30? What's the answer?
Yes.
29 is less than equal
Yes,
to 30. Yes, it's true. So since it's like that, so now click on evaluate again. Evaluate is now say, so it's not underlining, it say it's true. It's telling that it is true that 29 is less than 30. It's telling you that it's true. Then evaluate again. Which one will Excel pick? Since it's true. Remember I told you when you set your answer, set answer for true, set your answer for false. So let's evaluate again. Because it is true, which one will Excel pick? Excel is picking the first answer you set, which is reorder. So always evaluate your formula. So to evaluate your formula, so let's also go and put it there. To evaluate, should I put it in the name in that our this thing to evaluate?
Yes, sir, please.
So
Yes, sir.
now evaluating a formula, evaluating of formula. Okay, so if you are evaluating formula, okay, so this is what you do. Click on the cell with the formula, click the cell with the formula, okay, click the cell with the formula, then so go to the formula tab, okay, comma, scroll to the right and select evaluate formula. And start the evaluation. Okay, so that's that. So you can see that here to learn to wrap tests around is very important. If I press enter now, Excel will not show me all these things again. I need to go and wrap it by myself. So I click on where I want my test to be wrapped to. I want it to be wrapped to this place. Fine. I go to my home tab. I go to my merge cell. You can do it any how you want. Make it go up. Sorry, make it align to the side if I want to, then wrap the test, and everything is done once and for all. So that is that. So that is for evaluating a formula. And I believe that with that, we have done justice to justice to this our if. So at times you also want asking yourself that, okay, this thing I'm getting, where is this? Which data is Excel using for this? For instance, let's go back to that place that way. So we have done this evaluation of formula. We will still come back. So people that are going to school, teachers, they can also use if. So whenever you are trying to use if for this kind of situation, let me make it bold so that we can see it well. So if you want to use if for this, like you have students that you are teaching, okay? And then you have scores of students. Maybe like you have 1 million students in your class, and then you want to quickly grade them. You want to tell, you already know their scores, 90, 60, whatever. You want to grade them. Which one is the A student, which are the B, which are the C, which are the D. So just come here, just say equal to if, right? We now say open your bracket and start the statement. We said F8 is greater than or equal to 80. Okay, because we assume that 80 is a higher, like anybody that have 80 or above 80, the person has gotten A. So when I say, okay, F8 is greater than or equal to 80, right? So anything above 80, anything 80 or above 80, we want to classify it as A. So we now say F8 is greater than or equal to 80. So we've made our statement. So Excel check, what is F8? F8 is 90. So we are saying 90 is greater than or equal to 80. Is it correct? The answer is, what is the answer?
It's correct, sir.
It's correct. So that is why Excel picked A, because that is the answer that we said. So we go to the next one. We say the next one, we are saying that F9 is greater than is greater than or equal to 80. Excel check. Is 60 greater than 80? The answer is no. Excel will not pick the first answer, which is A. Excel will now repeat the process. So we are nesting the if formula now. We are nesting. So we now nest another if formula. We now say if F8 is greater than or equal to 60. So that's the next one now. So we now say F8 is greater than or equal to 60. So Excel come to, sorry, did I say F8? Oh, so this is TF8. So when you come here, the formula we shift. Remember, because it's in relative reference, the formula will shift. Whenever you come to another role, okay, the formula is going to shift to row 9. It's going to become F9 is equal to, so let's click on here and let's press our control quote. Remember, if you want to check the formula in a cell, control and quote. Okay, you can see it now. So now here, F equal to F. Wait, why is this showing F8? Oh, am I clicking on that place? So let me do something. Oh, undo. Okay, so this is where I am. So this is F9. So I think when I press control and the open quote, I think whenever you press control and open quote, Excel is picking the data in this cell before the one you selected. So Excel is actually picking this place, but my cell is actually, sorry, let me press OK and undo. So look at it now. I don't know, whenever you see, yeah, this is, if I press F2 now, so that we also know what we are doing. If you press F2, here it's showing that it is F9, that is here. F9 is greater than or equal to 80. But if I use the other, this thing, you know, I'm clicking on this. Look at where I'm clicking on. I'm clicking on G9. If I press my control, open quote, right? Instead of it to edit this place where my cursor is, it will go and edit what is at the top. So you go and edit G8. So know that, so that you know which one you want to do. Do you want to use control plus your open quote, or do you want to use F2? I think for me, F2 is still preferable because F2 is going to edit the cell your cursor is on. But if you are using control open quote, even if your cursor is on this place, it will be editing what is at the top of where you are selected. So you should know that if you are using control plus, let me go and show us, you are using control plus the open quote, instead of Excel to if you are using this one, for instance, the only setback for this one is that here, when you select, Excel will not edit that place. Excel will want to edit what is at the top of that place you selected. So you must know it. Know that thing very well so that you don't go and make error in your calculation. And another thing is that it will now copy the formula that is in that above cell. It will copy that formula exactly into the cell that you are. So you must also note that very well. So it will help you also in whatever you are doing. So let's go further. Let's go further to where we are. So we now come over here. Let's just finish learning. I will tell us other things later, but I just want us to finish learning this one. So being able to use that. So if you're a teacher and you want to nest formula, you can be able to do that with your if. So if I will also share this worksheet so that people that want to learn if well, they can also go ahead and learn and practice. Okay. So I will share this worksheet. So making two worksheets I promised to share, this one and the link the linking worksheet.
The assignments.
Yeah, the assignment. Thank you. So I'll share this too for us to see. So just like the way we did, the same thing is what is happening over here. So here they are having we other level. So they have the other level. They say that if L11 is lower than 40, we order it. Okay, if L11 is less than or equal to 40, then you reorder. So let's check that formula that they have there. Oh, sorry. So you also discover that Ctrl Z. You discover that if you press F2, Excel will edit the formula to the right. So let's press the other control open quote, and then we edit your formula to the bottom. So let's see. So if you press control open quote, let's let me do it again. Sorry. So Excel is so look at what Excel did. What I told you Excel would do. Excel, because there's no formula at the top, Excel simply copy what is at the top here. It copy it down here. So you must notice. Let me undo. Control Z. So it means that if I want to use that control open quote, I have to come to a place where there is a formula above. If I want to copy the formula here, down here, I can simply do that. But what do I have control D for? Control D will also give me that control D will also let me do that. So why do I need to now use control open quote? Okay, so that's that. So you can also look at all these things and learn them. So you can all these things and learn them. So this is the if, and with that if, I believe we have done well for ourselves. So just practice the if as much as you want to. Okay, so here is also some information for you to learn. The if, the name is an if, the function group is a logical function, then function use returns one value if a condition you specify evaluates to true, and another value if it evaluates to false. So you can use function argument now, logical test, value if true, value if false. Okay, so that is that for that. So let's leave here and let's leave if alone, and let's come to another thing that we can also do. So let's come to the next if two. So this if two now. So what is if two saying? If two is like an exercise, right? So under this if two, we have the matric number of students, we have the names of students, we have their sex, we have their departments, we have the subject that they wrote, general knowledge, English, mathematics, verbal reasoning, diagnostic reasoning, and so on and so forth. So this can work well for a teacher that is on the call. This can work well for you. So here, you already have the average score. So here we have figures in this place. They are figures. So to get your average, there's a formula we use for average. Just say equal to average. Then you go and select the places you want exact to average for you. And that's how we're able to get the average of all these scores we have in this place. So we got the average. So also, and that's what I'm going to do for us. Apart from me sending us the if, the first one, I'm also going to send us the if two, so that we can also play with all these things. I want you to play with them. I want you to familiarize yourself with all these things, so that when we meet again, you are not telling me the if is too difficult, if it's too difficult, if it's this one. Play with it, understand it. So here, we use the average function, which is going to be equal to average. We open our bracket, we select the area we want to average, okay? We did that. So apart from that, they now use the if to put the grade, okay? To put grade. So study it also. Then also, they also have these remarks. Either it's credit they have, either it's decision they have, or whatever. So you see all the formula that we use. The formulas are all at the side. You can see all the formulas at the side. I have taught you the if function. So I don't need to start going through all these things again. I believe that you should be able to go through it, digest it, and explain it to me tomorrow. So in this worksheet, yeah, somebody's hand is up.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Good evening, sir.
good evening.
Yeah, please. I just wanted to confirm how you got this the arrows on the, you have some arrows that you used to link down to the grid, to the formula. How did you get the arrow? Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are not, what's the word now? Sorry, I'm coming. Just give me 2 minutes. I need to give me 2 minutes, please. Yeah, okay. So for the lady that asked that question, you know what they talk about pictures, right? So they are what they call pictures and all that. So this is like all these things are you can go and if you click on it, you discover that this thing can be moved. This is a picture, it can be moved. If you click on it, you can see that it can be moved. You can drag it, you can take it away, and all that. All these things are pictures. They are pictures that you can go and download. Okay, all these things are pictures. We took the picture, we put it there. All these are pictures. So another thing that I did not teach us is that you can also get all these things by yourself. All these pictures, right? If I want to get a picture of something like this, I could decide to like, let me say, I want to get this plain sheet, right? I could decide to click on this place, okay? Click on this place like this. And I know that here, for you to have something like this is either, okay, I don't even need to merge. I don't need to merge myself. I can just decide to get something like this, get it to wherever I want to get to, okay? I can decide to make it bigger. Then what will I do? I come to my home tab. When I come to my home tab, I make this, I make that place white. That's the first thing. I make it white. Once I make it white, right, then I could also highlight the side of it. I could highlight it, press Control 1. When I press Control 1, I can go and select color. Okay, I want to select color from this automatic. I'll select color. I click on color, then I want to select any of the color. Maybe I want to use red. Once I use red, I click on the red, maybe the thick red. I come here, I click on outline, I click on OK, and everywhere is already red. So what do I do? I'll now also, what will I, so I'm coming, let me redo this thing. This thing I want it to be, to show color. I press, no, not Control 1. Let me just come to my home tab, okay, and come to this place. I want to select white. No, okay, so white background. Okay, so you can see now I have a white background and I have red beside it. So what else will I do? I can now copy this thing. When I copy this thing, so I copy it like this, and I want I copy like this, Control C. Once I copy Control C, I come here, okay, I'm now paste special. Let me come to my paste special. I come to paste special. If I come to paste special, I want to paste it like a picture. So look at here, you come down, you see that this is a picture, okay? So paste as a picture. I click on paste as picture. Automatically, you have gotten it also. You can easily pick it and put it anywhere you want. So once you put it anywhere you want, this also is another picture, okay? It's another picture that you can go and browse for. You can go and look for it and attach it to it and all that. So that is that. I hope you understand it. Hello, madam. You can see that I've quoted this thing. Okay, somebody else's hand is up, yes?
Okay, so my question is, if you now paste it as a picture, how do you put those words inside it?
What is there now? You can put it now. Look at. Okay, sorry. You can just like the way they did. So what you do is that, sorry, just start typing. Come in, sorry. Edit picture. So now you can see that it's asking, say this is an imported picture, not a group. Do you want to convert it to a Microsoft Office drawing object? So you can click on yes, and then it will enable you to be able to do that. So all these things, it's not what I want to start doing in this lecture, but at least I'll be able to show you how they got this picture. The next thing is how to now start writing on it, which you can always get just by 1 or 2 clicks, okay? But this is not what I'm teaching us today. This is not what I'm teaching us today. So just let us stick with what we are doing so that we don't get distracted. This one will take us to other areas that we don't want to go to. So that is that. So I don't want to start going into this today. Let me delete this one so that we can move on. The madam that asked the question, I hope you understand what I said.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I don't want to start going into this now because it digress our attention. So I'm going to send us this stuff also. When I send it to you, start making use of it. Okay, at least you can see the way I change this thing to this color. You can see the way I made the inside white and all those things. So, but that is not what we are here for today. So I can say categorically that I have taught you the if function. Okay, so we have some minutes to go. Let's go to another sheet. For when you come down here, right? For this one now, you are looking at a depth sheet. Here, this person took some loans. In January, it took 2,000. In February, he didn't take anything. In March, he took this amount. So, Oko, he has just been borrowing money. So, when he borrow money, then we have his total debt. The total debt, we are saying, we use an if to show it. Okay? We say that if, then we now use a sum at the middle. So we say if, we are making a statement now. We now say the sum of C12 to H12 is greater than, is equal to 0. So we are making a statement. We are saying that the sum of C21 to H21 is equal to 0. So if it's correct, for instance, like if you sum all these things together now, and you sum all these things together, obviously you discover that the sum of C21 to H21 will actually give you 0, truly. So that's the formula that we use here. So that the formula we are using is a formula that we work when there's nothing in the bracket. So we now say, okay, equal to, we are now starting our statement. The sum of, let me click on where I was on 21 before. I come here again, I say, okay, I say equal to the sum of 21 to H21, C21 to H21 is equal to 0. So if it's true, for instance, if Z tests that thing for year, if Z discover that year is 0, Z will do the answer. You are not setting this answer. This answer now, you are putting double quotation mark. Whenever you have double quotation mark, you use it when you want Excel to pick a text. Now, when you now put a double quotation mark without writing any text in between, it means you are telling Excel that that place is a text, but you don't want to show any figure there. So when you now come here, you now say, okay, that formula was here. They say the sum of C26 to H26 is equal to 0. You have made your statement. Excel check. Excel will come and sum all this place. Is it equal to 0 truly? You say, okay, there's nothing there. It's equal to 0. So Excel will pick the answer that you said. This answer, you put 2 quotation marks without nothing inside, meaning that you don't want anything to show in that place. You are setting it as a text, but you don't want anything, you didn't write anything inside. So that is what Excel picked because your statement is correct. However, if Excel check the sum of C21 to H21 and you discover that it's not equal to 0, Excel will now do another thing. Excel will come and do the second answer that you said. The second answer you said is that sum C26 to H26. Okay, so that is that. So and that is how they were able to get what is here. Now I know that is easy to understand. The next thing they also did is they now came here. They now say, okay, this guy now started paying his debt. He paid in March. He didn't pay in January. He didn't pay in February. He paid in March. He didn't pay in April. He didn't pay in May. He didn't pay in June. So we now come back to this formula. We now did another formula. Okay, we now say, okay, if we now started our statement, we say the sum of C21 to H21 minus the sum of J21. So what we're saying that we're saying the sum of the debt it took minus the sum of the repayment he has made is equal to 0. Okay, we are saying that the sum of the debt it took minus the sum of the repayment that he has made is equal to 0. So if they check the sum of the debt you took, they also check the sum of the repayment you make, and they say that it's equal to 0 because you are saying sum of this minus sum of this, and it's equal to 0. If the answer is 0, we set an answer that pick the text without any text in between. However, if it's wrong, now go and sum C21 to A21 minus the sum of J21 to O21. So that is what we are telling Excel to do. So it's as easy as ABC. So once you understand what if is, whenever you understand what if is, you can easily interpret it because you already understand what they are saying when they are creating that if statement. So with that, I think we have like, is it 13 minutes to go? Do we use that to ask question? Do we ask question with that? Do you want to use that time to ask question? $13 minutes to go. Okay, so let's quickly do the last. Let's do the last thing that I want to do. So here, just like I said, people that are doing inventory, you already have your spreadsheet. Okay, you have your spreadsheet. This is where you are storing everything that you purchase. Whenever you purchase any of those inventory, you store them here. This is the item code. This is the date of the purchase. This is the serial number. This is the description, and so on and so forth. So now, the next thing you want to do is this. Hold on, I'm coming here. So hold on. I am coming. Yeah. So the next thing you want to do is this. You want to once you have gotten this, whenever you purchase those items, you come and populate this template. You populate it, okay? You have the amount of the quantity that you purchase for that period, okay? Then the next one, you have this withdrawal item also, inventory withdrawal. Whenever you withdraw any item, you also come and put the number that you've withdrawn. So we purchase how many? We purchase 125 pieces of this item, okay? And how many do we withdraw? We withdraw 20 pieces, right? They will now want to have an inventory control account. So this inventory control account is what we are going to use to now check, okay, what did we have as the quantity that we purchased? What quantity did we withdraw? What is the balance remaining? What are we to reorder? Okay, so now we now say, okay, so let me explain it now. We have our purchase inventory sheets, okay? We have our withdrawal inventory sheet. So as we are purchasing, we have a template that we use to populate those things that we have purchased, right? We also have another template that we use whenever we are withdrawing. So if we withdraw out of this 125 that we purchased of this item, we've withdrawn how many? We've withdrawn 20, right? So like that, we keep withdrawing. So the next thing is that we now have our inventory control template. This inventory control template, we have the amount that we purchased for this item, okay? By saying equal to, we go and pick the inventory purchases. So this is what we did. We come here, we create equal to, we come to our what we purchased, we come and click here, we put it. Then we also come back to our inventory control. We come to our withdrawal, we say equal to, we come to this place, we come and pick our withdrawal account as well. So when we have done that, then the next thing is that once we have what we purchased and what we have withdrawn, the next thing we can now start looking at, are we short of the item? The first thing is to say that the one that we purchased minus the one that we have withdrawn, what is remaining? So this is the balance, right? So from this balance now, okay, what is the reorder level that we set for ourselves that this thing should not go below so reorder level? So we also say, okay, what's the reorder level? We now set the reorder level, okay? So here are all the reorder level. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to compare this balance we have. We compare it with the reorder level. Have we gone below the reorder level, or we are still above the reorder level. So that will give us where we are going to put our remarks. Okay. So this is another class work I'm going to give us. So another assignment. So I'm going to give us this inventory withdrawal sheet, give us this inventory purchases sheet, then this inventory control sheet. I will leave all these drawings, but all these things, the purchases, I'm going to delete it. The withdrawal, I'm going to delete it. This also plays the balance, I'm going to delete it. You're going to put all those things by yourself, and you're also going to put a formula here to show whether we should reorder or whether it is okay. And with that, I think we have come to the end of today's class. We'll be able to see a lot of things that we need to learn, that we need to get in the worksheet. So I will take questions now in order for us to be able to solidify our understanding. So, Madam Miriam, yes?
Thank you so much for the class. Much appreciated. For the assignments, how do we submit it?
Okay, so everybody you have, I'm going to send us all those templates. So somebody should go to the group and type all these templates I say I will send. The first template I will send for you is, so let me go to the template. The first template I will send for you is, I will start from start page. I will also send you the tour, okay? I will send you the tour. This classwork I will send you also because we have used this sheet severally. We have used this sheet. Okay, I will send you this one also. Then I will go further. I will send you the function information. So you can remind me. So if you want to go to our WhatsApp group now, type itemize it. Number one, the start sheet. I'm going to send it to you. The tour sheet. I'm going to send it to you. The class worksheet. I'm going to send it to you. The function information, I will also send to you. Then we move further. I will send to you the link worksheet. This your table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4, table 5. You are going to get it yourself, okay? You are going to get it yourself. You are going to get this table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4, table 5, table 6 yourself, okay? Then I'll also send you the if sheet. I'll send you the if too. I'll send you this sheet as well. I will send you the inventory withdrawal sheet. I will send you the inventory purchases sheet. I will also send you the inventory control sheet. So is somebody typing it on the group? So when you have to submit on Monday next week. You have to submit on Monday, or let's do it this way. Submit by close of business on Sunday in the evening. Everybody should have submitted so that we can review it before we meet again for our class on Monday. So remember, our class is always going to be from Mondays to Fridays. So that's what our class is going to be. So today is Thursday, I believe. Am I right? Is today Thursday?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
tomorrow
Today's
is
Thursday.
So tomorrow is Friday, and then after tomorrow's class, we go and rest. So make sure, so this is what you should do. Make sure before we meet next week, you must have subscribed to our YouTube channel. At least we want to have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers. Most of us are not subscribing, okay? So go and subscribe. There's a lot we can still learn. There's a lot. This is just one template I'm using. There's a lot we can still learn, okay? So as I'm using this template for you, I'm also giving you other information from other areas, okay? So that's it. And at the end of the day, I believe with this, our training, we'll be able to make use of not only know what I've taught you, but you'll be able to apply it at the office, okay? Be able to apply it at the office. So I believe that before the end of this training, before the 30 days training, majority of us become Excel experts. That is if we stay committed to the training. We are following all the exercise I asked you to do. We are doing everything I asked you to do. You are going to do exceptionally well in your Excel. So we have the lookup. We have a lot. So let me go back to that place so that you will see what we have to do in this our whatever we are doing. We have lookup. So this is the information. We have the logical function. We have done the if. we have and, we have we have or, we have concatenate. So how to concatenate? Okay, probably you have names of employee, you have their surname, you have their middle name, you have their first name, and then you are sending those names to the auditor, and the auditor is telling you, no, I don't want the names like this. I want the name together. Like you are having them in different column. Surname in a column, last name in a column, surname in a column, middle name in a column, first name in a column. The auditor is telling you, no, I don't want it that way. I want the names to appear in only one column. For instance, Johnson, whatever. So if you want the name to appear once, how do you do that? You can always use concatenate to do that. Okay, we are going to learn it. I'm going to use all these text function as well. Concatenate, exact, substitute, repeat, and so on and so forth. I'm going to look at the lookup functions, H lookup, V lookup, match index. We also have another one that they call the X lookup. I think I'm right, yes, X lookup. Then we have the statistical function, average, count if, counter, count if, canva, whatever, maximize, minimize. Okay, so today I use the count function. I use it. So you need to know all of them. Then for the date also, I'm also going to show us the date. For instance, if you're working in an insurance industry and then you have a lot of clients that they insure a lot of things with you, whether it is motor vehicle, whether it is goods in transit, whatever they are insuring with you, and then you need to continue to keep track of when those things, before they expire. You need to always tell the client that your good is going to expire on the 30th of January. So it's going to be very embarrassing if you are the officer that is in charge of keeping track of those expiration dates, and then you are not able to follow through to tell the client before the thing expires. And then all of a sudden, the client is driving to Lekki, for instance, and then he is arrested. And they say that your vehicle document, your insurance is expired. And then the guy will call your office and say, how come you cannot tell me my insurance is expired? Okay, so you want to avoid all those kind of embarrassment, because the client is going to spend money to bail himself and his car that day, and that money, if you're not careful, your oga or your boss may charge it to your salary. That, okay, it's because of you. That is why the client incurred that kind of cost. So you want to prevent that. You need to learn how to use the dates. With this date now, I will show us how to keep track of all those things. Like, you don't want them to expire before you tell the owner when it's expiring. Maybe you have vehicle papers also. Maybe you are the one that is in charge of vehicle papers. Okay, you are in charge of renewal of those vehicle papers. You want to know the dates you started the you renew the paper. You want to know the date the paper will expire, and then you want to keep track to know which one has expired, which one have not expired. So we are going to look at a lot of other things in this training. So there is a lot that we're going to learn, the mathematical function and all that. So with that, we have come to the end of today's class. I believe today's class is more engaging, more interactive. Or what do you think?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So,
it is more interactive.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, for your time. Do have a lovely night's rest. If you have any question, you can still raise your hand and ask the question, and I will attend to all.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.